Hey everybody, just checking in with y'all. I just got back from a thrift store ramble, a thrift store jaunt. Found a handful of cool things. Had a few things I didn't expect to find. And I find good things all the time, I just don't film them. I just thought I'd do this one just for a change. It seems like kind of thrifting or thrift store haul videos are things people like to watch, so I watch them. So let's just look. This is not going to be long because this is not a big haul. I only spent $5, but I got about half a dozen things for that, and they're pretty cool. Let's look at it. So right there, that's a poster board. I did not buy that. I'm just using that as my backdrop here. So where should I start here? Well, I found a booth that had some VHS tapes for 50 cents. Picked this up, The Out of Towners, with Jack Lemmon and Sandy Dennis. Neil Simon play, 1969 film. It was remade with Steve Martin. I never saw that. Of course, I've seen this. I have this on DVD, but I'm building kind of a little VHS collection again, just for nostalgia purposes, and trying to get films that are actually halfway decent. This one's in good shape. The box is in good shape. The tape is in good shape. The label's in good shape. So, you know, nice item. Kind of classic New York of that period. This one was cool. It's in the bag. This is a 1945 film with Fred Allen and Jack Benny. Fred Allen was a radio guy, an author, a humorist, very funny man. Died in the 50s. He was on What's My Line for a while. I think he died in 55. He wrote a number of biographical books that are very funny. I've got one or two of them down in my library. Of course, everybody should know Jack Benny. This was kind of based on the 12 chairs, the old Russian story where, you know, the jewels are hidden in one of the chairs, and they do use chairs in this one too. And of course, he's looking for the chair that got lost that supposedly has the treasure in it. So it's a kind of a treasure hunt, scavenger hunt thing, which is kind of an appropriate thing for a thrift store movie, don't you think? So anyway, this one is still sealed. It's a little bit browned, but you don't see it too often, although this was kind of common for a while. They actually sold these at Meijer's 15 or 20 years ago, as I recall. This was 50 cents. Kind of cool. I've got this already, this movie. I have it on disc, I think, but I do have it, and it has been released on Blu-ray, actually. But this is kind of a cool, nostalgic thing to have. It's a funny, nifty little movie. It's kind of an independent movie. It's got a great intro. You can watch the intro to this movie on YouTube. It's a very funny Fred Allen intro, kind of meta, kind of self-aware kind of intro where he reads the credits and makes fun of them. Very nice. This is a parenthetical insertion. Mel Brooks made that film in 1970 called The 12 Chairs, which was the same story. I think Zero, was it Zero Mostel? No, it was that guy who's in Oliver Twist, Ron, what was his name? I can't remember. You guys know, whatever. He was in that, and it was a delightful movie. Parenthetical insertion number 2. You know, being a curious character, I'm curious to open this sealed item and make sure everything is as it should be, and that it wasn't resealed with the wrong movie. So let's check it out. I'm going to use this utility knife, and we're going to get in that. Is that showing up? I don't want to cut the box. I'm fixing to do that if I'm not careful. Alright. That is as it should be. It says it's in the bag. And although you'd think, well, you just ruined the value by opening it. Not really. This video is common. It goes for such a wide range of prices. Most people would only pay about $5 for this. So, you know. And anyway, if I actually want to watch this, it's not going to do any good sitting in the seal. So there you go. So there it is. Original, factory fresh. So anyway, got this DVD for $1.25. It's spring, summer, fall, winter, and spring. I think this is a Korean movie, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. I think it's Korean. I don't think it's Chinese. I think it's Korean. This got some awards and some attention. I already own this, as it turns out. I wasn't sure, so I went ahead and bought it. I'm probably going to sell this on eBay because I can get about $5 for it, which would pay for this whole lot if I could get that. So I already have this, but nice to find. I like finding foreign movies at the peddler mall or the thrift store because, you know, you usually just find the common movies everybody has, which is boring. Now this was a real find on the Avenue with Alice Faye, 20th Century Fox musical from the 30s. I think it's 1937 if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember who the director was. Irving Berlin did the music. Oh, Roy Del Ruth. Okay, so yeah, very good director of the 30s, one of the greats actually. This was in good shape, and I didn't have this one. I have almost all the other Alice Faye films. I really like her. She's a musical comedy star of the time. She retired in the 40s after, I think, she made, what was it, The Gang's All Here with Busby Berkeley. She just wanted to have a family life after that. Anyway, so I did have this. This is not from the thrift store. This is my own. I had this in my eBay sale lot, but I never listed it because I was on the fence about it. I kind of wanted this because most of the movies in here are ones I don't have. There's 5 Alice Faye musical comedies in here. And it doesn't have this one. This one was in volume 1. This is volume 2. This was in the volume 1 box with Lillian Russell and The Gang's All Here, which I already have, so I didn't need the volume 1 box. The volume 2 box is all pretty unique stuff, much more hard to find movies in this one. So I'm keeping this, and this is a nice adjunct as an Alice Faye fan. I like old movies and I like Alice Faye, so whatever. Parenthetical insertion. This was 50 cents, by the way. It says $1, but it was 50 cents. Here's one for Lee Stamm. I found Beethoven Overtures with Klaus Tenstedt, London Philharmonic on EMI Angel. In good shape, except the back has some water damage. No big deal. You know, Beethoven Overtures, I'm not really in the market for it, but you know, I've got all these overtures 10 million times over, but they're collected on one disc. So if you just want to hear overtures, that's nice. Instead of having overtures sort of stuck on the end of a symphony or some other Beethoven work the way it's typically done. And it's Klaus Tenstedt. It's, you know, a 1980s CD, which is nice. It's EMI. These are out of print, and it's only $1. So there it is. There's the disc. This one is made in USA. Okay, cool. Now this was the prize find of the day. Mozart's opera Zaide. I've heard it pronounced 20 million different ways. Zaide, I've heard it pronounced. I've heard it pronounced Zeite, like in German. I've heard it pronounced Zaid. So I think it's Zeite. I think it's closest accurate pronunciation since Mozart was German, I guess. So this one is on Harmonium Mundi. It's a short opera. The only reason I ever became aware of this, of course, is in Amadeus. They have a very short segment from this opera in that film, and it's a very catchy little segment. But this is hard to find. You don't see recordings of this out in the wild almost ever, almost never, I should say. There was one up at half price a few months ago. It was on, I can't remember what label, maybe Orfeo or something, and I think I passed on it, but they wanted $7, $8 for it, which was fair, but I didn't want to pay that much because I paid $1 for this. So, and then this is Academy of Ancient Music, not with Hogwood, but with somebody else, Paul Goodwin. It's in good shape. It's a Mozart opera that's kind of hard to come by, especially in the wild, especially in a southern redneck peddler's thrift store mall thing. So there you go. That's the haul. Not that, but these. $5 and tax. Very happy with that. So there you go.